small department.
You guys were all excited, like, you were totally excited. Like,
fine.
oh,
Last night, honestly, when you took my leg and I didn't eat before we came,
well,
I think everyone.
and I was freezing also.
Remember I told you guys?
So cold in here. Oh my God, it was so cold, yeah.
Area.
Actually, that's
Our
why I brought my
office is
jacket.
freezing.
well, I dressed for the weather, my sweater on top of the
I
thing.
got a sweater too.
I haven't, like, I gotta pull out all my sweaters.
What's that?
I gotta pull out all my sweaters. Ah, here's Carl.
Oh, so we're good.
Was it? Oh.
So, Derek, what we'll do, I have a tab of all the departments that we didn't touch. So I will just go from the top, go right down, and clear.
We could probably do HR and assessments first, to get them out.
Because they're here.
Okay. Fair enough, we got 1 minute to.
Who wants to go first?
I'd like to call,
Go
I'd like to
ahead.
call to order the city council committee meeting for Friday, October 13th, 2023. And turn over to Mr. Mutubaran.
Thank you once again, and this evening, I would like to recall the Finance Committee to order, and we'll continue our final budget hearing for 2024 with regards to department heads. And this evening, we'll go straight into human resource, and I have Derek just give us a brief, and then I will go to the department heads.
Just a few key numbers.
Tell us what's going on.
Just a few key numbers for human resources. Code 1430, the adopted budget for 2023, we're looking at $508,424. The 24 proposed budget, we're looking at $384,548, a 24% decrease. We're looking at also a 3 fill decrease from the 23 adopted budget.
Very good.
So it's all over the years, you give us a summary of what's happening in the department and anything that we need to know.
Yep, of course. I want to say thank you all for taking your time out of your busy Fridays to sit with us here today. I'm Mary Ann. I'm the Human Resources Director for the city. I have been in my position for about 2 years now, overseeing payroll, benefits, HR, all of the above. So right now we are doing fairly okay. We are down 1 staff member, but that's just per civil service rules. We have to wait until we are able to hire off a list from an exam that took place over the summer. We now know that we can post for that position provisionally. So I am posting for the payroll audit clerk position, which is currently vacant. So that will be filled hopefully in the next few weeks. Given that we find the appropriate and qualified candidate. Just going through our budget here, we went through it thoroughly. The only thing that I see that might be a discrepancy, and I asked for initially, was our payroll manager's salary. We have our payroll manager currently budgeted for $56,265. But if you look just below, we have our personnel benefits clerk who's making a little bit more than our payroll manager. So I asked that we, if you can, consider, thinking about putting that payroll manager at $60K straight. Brittany Cogden is currently in that position, and she has exceeded abundantly in her duties and everyday responsibilities. I think she's well deserving of that salary requirement. And that's just all I ask for today.
I just want to add to that Brittany's management and the benefit clerk is CSCA. What happened was that the CSCA, besides getting all the raises, they also had steps where management doesn't have steps. Mm-hmm. So even though she supervised them, she'll be making less than them. So we're trying to get her to be a little bit over him,
So if we were to increase the payroll management, it wouldn't affect the union at all?
No.
Okay.
He would just continue to move up in his steps as he normally would, whereas,
She just gets the management.
Just as a reminder, let's not attach a name to these.
Yeah.
Just for
Payroll
We'll call it.
to protect an employees' confidentiality.
Okay.
Let's not attach a name to any staffing position, but we can talk generically about
the positions.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
I was just wondering if the 3 positions that we're not filling, Were they filled before or have they been vacant?
Yes, so the three that were, I think they were recently budgeted for 2023, fairly new, they have been vacant, we haven't filled it. The HR administrator, or the HR assistant / IPS 3, with all of our staff changes, we just haven't had a chance to fill that one. We would have had to create a position with civil service specifically for the HR assistant, so we didn't move forward with that one. The other two were the affirmative action office. Those were never filled, provided that I've, given the affirmative action officer multiple candidates to hire off of. We did not hire for those positions, and I don't have an answer for you at that time as to why,
Well, I think where Ron is just not ready for that step yet,
Okay.
Yeah.
But were these candidates qualified?
Yes, yeah.
So they passed all the requirement through civil service?
Yeah.
We
Take
think
that out.
Well, I gave him a pool to choose from, so usually what we do is he'll give me his top 2-3 candidates, we'll run it through by civil service before moving forward with interviews.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I understand that process, what I don't understand is that we wrote it out of the budget because, in this, just for general information, we have other positions that are not filled, and then we don't write them out of the budget, so I'm not clear why we're writing these out of the budget.
I'm not entirely sure.
Because they've been vacant for the whole year, so we're just, we're looking for cost savings. This is because they're not filling these positions. We're like, okay, it's not needed yet. He's not ready for it yet.
Yeah, but we have other positions that we haven't filled.
No, I know.
And they've been carrying them.
But I said Ron's not ready for these positions yet. For what
The
we need
supervisor
before.
is basically saying he doesn't need them right now.
Right now, he
Right.
doesn't.
The other
He will.
vacancies-
Okay, so he's not here.
Hold on, go ahead.
But it
please.
was, he will.
Yeah, the other vacancies have been pre-existing. Those positions have been embedded in the
Right.
departments for years, and those are our top need fill positions, whereas these positions are newly created. We've given the affirmative action officer 10+ months at this point to fill those positions with multiple candidates, and we didn't see anything being moved forward, so I assume that is why we cut it out of the budget. That's my guess.
So you had a conversation with the,
A while back we did, yeah.
so is he aware that those positions have been cut? I think that's important to know for us.
Well, I told him it was gonna happen, So I don't know if he went to the mayor. Did he come to you guys? So obviously, yeah.
Okay, no, just so you know, so
Yeah.
everybody knows, I am gonna ask him about that,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
at least, I'm gonna ask him about
Yeah,
about that.
he'll know.
Okay,
It is something that we asked for because when you look at all the work that the projects will be getting, all the workload that he's getting in the office, and can he keep up with the work that he's getting, and can he administer the contracts and to make sure that people are submitting their MWB and being compliance for a one person to function in this whole, what I would say, a department. It's hard.
Well, I think he wanted more of this staff for the empowerment center, and not for what he does regularly.
yeah, but, that was not our intent in filling that. That was, our intent was for him to do the work that, with the city to make sure all the contracts, as Mr. Mutivera said, that was our intent for the position.
He's doing that, so.
Well,
Yeah, exactly. That was the intent for people to help him to review the contract so he focused on the top level stuff and have a system to help him along with the
Yeah,
contract.
like you said, we've gave him, plenty of things to hire from, it's not like we held him unaccountable.
well, let me just say, we should hold everyone to the same
Yeah.
standard, because
Yeah.
this has happened in other departments as well.
Yeah.
So let's just.
Yeah, well, this is, Ron's a good friend of mine. I'm just
Listen,
saying.
listen.
I don't want you to think that.
No, look, this has nothing to do with relationships, I just wanna make sure that we're doing this on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
So you're gonna ask him?
Yes, I
Ms.
absolutely.
Porter, can we ask that we have him in Wednesday?
Yes,
Can we please
yes,
have Ron to explain to us why? Because we hate to cut it, and then we were asked to put this in, and all of us supported it because of the workload he was getting, because of the many contract, ARPA contract, CDBG, general contract across the board. He asked for help, we provided the help, and now we're cutting him.
And like I said, we provide him with
Well,
all
we'll
the
hear from him.
applications.
Let's hear from him.
So Wednesday we'll hear from him, and then forward.
And I just wanna note that we did also have an HR assistant position, also in the same situation. It was vacant for so long. We're cutting it because we did not fill it, so.
It's been only vacant a year, the other one that you cut?
Same
All
as
three
this.
have been vacant, so the HR assistant would have been, within the HR department, same duration as the clerical aide for affirmative action as well as the program coordinator, so we're keeping it uniform across the board, it's not,
I mean, just in your department, I mean, overall.
No,
yeah.
I mean, I have to say this. This is the only department I'm seeing the vacancies that is not filled is getting cut.
Right.
Other departments, there are vacancies, and we're adding more open position on top of it.
Well, I think the big difference is that these positions were never in the books before, whereas the other positions were in the books before. And that's why they always try to get them on. So we're just saying that, because they're not being filled, we're figuring, we're not gonna need them, but when they are needed, we'll fill them.
No, I understand, but as I've said that
Yeah, I
over
understand.
many years on this,
Yeah,
stage
I'm just
here.
letting you know what the
Every
thinking is.
department is vital for the city to survive, and when we're cutting people out and then bringing them
Well,
back.
there's nobody was ever there, so we're not really cutting them out, because nobody was ever
We
there.
need to fill them.
Well, let's hear from Ron, because maybe they'll say we don't need to fill them, so I think that's an
Can
important.
you please touch on the per diem salary just below that?
Yeah.
What does that comprise?
We currently have someone, she's been in this position for about a year and a half, almost 2 years now. And it's just her part-time clerk. She's very much a support staff, and much needed. Since we've been out of the payroll audit clerk, our part-time clerk has been, kind of assuming some of those duties as far as running payroll and, all that great stuff. So, she's very much needed. We're gonna keep her on.
Go ahead, please.
So is she not interested in like one of the full-time position that you
Yeah.
had that was open, she's not interested in?
She's a unique case. She's already retired, so this is
Oh.
kind of like a part-time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's already, this is just kind of for fun, but she really is.
Okay.
We're trying to help.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she is.
No, we want her to work
Yeah,
full-time, okay?
Yeah, she's been.
She's awesome.
She's really great.
Yeah.
All right, any other question go ahead, please.
Just as a point of clarity, that HR assistant that you said is being removed from the budget,
Mhm.
is that able to be effectively absorbed back into your workload?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing my job and more for the past 2 years, so it was really more so for someone to handle the day-to-day things like phone calls and emails and going through applications, which I still do today, just so I can lessen my workload, but, it's doable, I can continue doing it, try to do the best that I can. But if, what's needed for the department right now, I think is going back to the payroll manager, just kind of foreseeing that 60K if possible.
So when you said doing the work, are you doing day-to-day work on top of managing this department?
Yes, sir. I am, when you say
No,
HR,
it's
I am
4%.
HR. I am-
Plus, you're also on the
Plus benefits and payroll, yeah. So, it's been working, I think we've been doing a great job, and I enjoy what I do.
All right,
Yeah.
any other questions for this department? We don't have anything capital for this. Seeing no questions, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening and
Yeah.
a good weekend.
Yes, you too,
Thank you. Thank you, Marianne.
Thank you.
And we'll move Molly.
You want five? Okay.
So this is page 5, and hand it over to Derek, and then we'll ask Molly to give us.
Assessment code 1355, the adopted budget 2023, $284,583. Proposed 24 budget, we're looking at $304,538, only 7% increase, with the same films as 2023.
Give us a summary of what's going on in the
Sure,
department.
so, trying to remember what the expenses for membership, going down to 402, line 402. I mean, salary, I guess I'll start with salary.
Yeah, start from the salary and then work our way
Um,
down to the bottom.
I don't know, I had asked for a certain amount, I'm not sure what was put in I don't know what was put in by Anthony. I had passed a test.
4%.
4% in there, Gagan.
I think I asked for a little bit more than that. I had put in, or I had taken a test, this year that I passed on the first try, which most assessors don't do. And it gives me, by the Board of Regents, the top level of, I have the highest certification I can have as an assessor in the state of New York. So I think I asked for a little more than the 4%. I'm fine with whatever. I feel like I have done a pretty decent job for the city, and so I guess I was looking for that. I also put in a little more for Nancy. She is.
Okay.
That's
No
probably,
names, no names.
That's the title.
Real property analyst.
yeah.
Sorry,
Let's not put them on the spot in the public.
sorry. Real property analyst. She's the only other management position, so when I'm out of the office, there's a little more responsibility for her. And so I wanted to try to honor her in that way. She's getting to the point where she's considering retirement in the next couple of years, so I just, again, it's more of a, you've done a great job, thank you for covering when I've been out of the office. The rest of it, the other 3 positions in the office, we do have the deputy assessor line, and there's nothing in there. I don't want to take that necessarily out of the budget, because at some point for succession planning, that's a really optimal thing to have in there for someone else to come in.
It's not in there.
It's
No, there was a line in mine, but it doesn't have any, it doesn't have any.
Money?
Yeah, there's no salary, but I don't want to take it out of there.
Okay, so is that the deputy position, has it been there for years?
No, it's been there since, so that's how I came into the
Okay.
position. That was how I was hired, so that, because I didn't have necessarily, I needed 6 months of experience, so that was what happened. I had the 6 months as a deputy assessor at the time I came in, so that I fulfilled the requirements. It's not a civil service thing, but it's kind of a civil service thing. So I apologize, it's in my line here, it doesn't have any salary in it, so
We just clean it up, 'cause
Yeah, it's not in our budget here, so that
okay,
means
okay.
it's removed from our.
Okay, so that's the salary stuff. The rest of the positions are, civil service positions, so they have steps, and those are already added in here.
I do want to ask about the data collector.
Sure.
Mr. Ferrari, that looks like it's a little bit more than 4%?
yeah, but I think she also get a step too. She gets a step at the 4.4%.
She gave it a step plus,
We'll take a look at it, but I'm sure that's what it
you
is.
think that's what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be correct, we can double check though.
Okay.
Can you also look at the real property appraiser also?
The what? Appraiser?
The one above that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be also step and,
Yeah,
4%?
yeah.
Step and 4%?
4.4%.
I don't know if it's a step in four, I just took
4.4%.
the numbers that I was given, so, for those.
Go ahead, please.
Is the real property analyst also is it management or is it,
Real property analyst is actually management, yes.
and so the real property appraiser, is that person at a higher level than? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And there's licensure
Okay.
requirements for that position.
Gotcha.
So.
So the city assessor and the real property analyst is management position.
Correct.
And all the rest falls under the CSCA.
Yep.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
So I wouldn't want you to disclose those amounts for your requested position and that of the real property analyst. How do we get those? Like your recommended figure?
We have copies of what you provided, so.
Can you,
I'd like to see.
yeah, if you can email it to us, please, all the
He said
numbers.
she'll send it.
And, oh yeah, Ms. Mike, go ahead, we'll get it distributed to everyone.
Thank you.
So the next, let's see, longevity, I think is what it is. There's no question there. And then equipment is the same. So our parcels have gone down. We've managed to merge a lot of the parcels that we have. So New York State requires us to pay for the system that we use so that they can, it's crazy, but so that they understand how many parcels we have in the city and all the information that we have here. We've gone down in parcels, so we lost much.
you.